In the Jiangling Mausoleum, amidst an army of stone guardians, stands a monument to a ghost. Other emperors carved their glories into mountainsides, listing conquests, boasting of their divine mandate. But this stele, 63 tons of silent stone, says nothing. It was erected for the most powerful woman in Chinese history, a woman who rose from obscurity to command the largest empire on earth, a woman who took a title no woman had ever dared to claim, Huangdi, Emperor. So why the silence? Was it a final act of humility, or the ultimate expression of power? To understand the blank tombstone, we must first understand the blood and ambition that forged the titan it represents, Wu Zetian. The 7th century. China's Tang Dynasty is the center of the known world, a supernova of culture, power, and wealth. Its capital, Chang'an, is a metropolis of 1 million souls, its silks and ceramics coveted from Persia to Japan. At its heart is the emperor, the son of heaven, a man whose authority is absolute, ordained by a rigid Confucian order that has governed China for millennia. In this world, the cosmic balance rests on a simple principle: men rule, women obey. Into this world, in the year 637 AD, walks a 14-year-old girl. Her name is Wu Zhao. She's selected as a minor concubine for the great emperor Taizong, one of thousands of beautiful, talented women living in the Gilded Cage of the inner palace. Her rank is low, her prospects dim. History tells us she was beautiful, but it was her mind that was the weapon. She learned the unwritten language of the court, the subtle glance, the whispered rumor, the shifting alliances, but she failed to capture the aging emperor's favor. For another woman, this would have been the end, a life of quiet obscurity, followed by a lonely death. When Emperor Taizong died, tradition was clear. His childless concubines were to have their heads shaved and be exiled for life to a Buddhist monastery. For Wu Zhao, the Ganye Temple was not a tomb, it was a waiting room, because before his death, she had done the unthinkable. She had begun a secret, forbidden affair with the crown prince, Li Ji, the heir to the dragon throne, and now he was Emperor Gaozong. He did not forget her. Her return to the palace was a scandal, but Emperor Gaozong was captivated. Wu Zhao was no longer a naive girl. She was a master of psychology. She knew the emperor's weaknesses, his desires, his fears. Her rivals were the noble-born Empress Wang and the favored consort Xiao. They saw her as a low-born upstart. They had pedigree, family connections, the support of the old aristocracy. They gravely underestimated her. In the year 654, Wu gave birth to a daughter. One day, Empress Wang paid a visit. Shortly after she left, the infant was found dead, smothered in her crib. The palace erupted. Wu accused the empress of murder, a crime born of jealousy. There were no witnesses, only Wu's word against the empress's. But Wu had spent years cultivating the emperor's trust. Historians still debate what happened. Was it a cold-blooded act of filicide, the ultimate sacrifice for power? Or was Wu Zetian the victim of a conspiracy, her name blackened for centuries by Confucian scholars who despised her? The truth is lost to time, the result is not. Empress Wang was deposed, imprisoned, and later executed in a manner too gruesome to detail. Consort Xia soon followed. In 655, the former concubine from the monastery, Wu Zhao, was named Empress of the Great Tang. Her victory was not just personal, it was a blow against the powerful aristocratic clans who dominated the court. To consolidate her power, she began to build a new base of loyalty. But her true moment arrived when fate intervened. Emperor Gaozong suffered a debilitating stroke, leaving him partially blind and weak. Power abhors a vacuum. From behind the silk screen of the throne, the Empress began to rule. She was the de facto emperor in all but name. For over 2 decades, the court heard 2 voices: the ailing emperor and his brilliant, decisive empress. They were called the 2 sages. This was her shadow reign. She governed with an iron fist cloaked in a velvet glove. She established a network of secret police and a system of copper boxes, where anyone in the empire could send secret accusations against officials.
Fear became an instrument of state policy. Her reign of terror against the old aristocracy was brutal and effective. Over a 15-year period, dozens of prominent clans were purged.
But she also used propaganda with visionary skill. She patronized Buddhism, a faith more inclusive of female figures than Confucianism. She sponsored scholars who wrote biographies of exemplary women. She even circulated a sutra that predicted the reincarnation of the Maitreya Buddha, the Buddha of the future, as a female sovereign. She was not just seizing power, she was rewriting the divine rules that governed it. In the year 690, with Emperor Gaozong long dead and her own sons pushed aside, she did what no woman had ever done. She cast aside the Tang Dynasty. She declared her own dynasty, the Zhou, and she took the title Huangdi, not Empress, Emperor. The transformation was complete. The minor concubine was now the son and daughter of heaven.
As emperor, Wu Zetian proved to be one of the most effective rulers of her time. Her critics, both ancient and modern, focus on her cruelty, but they ignore the stability and prosperity of her reign. She reformed the imperial examination system, breaking the stranglehold of the aristocracy and promoting men of merit regardless of their birth. This created a new class of scholar officials loyal directly to the throne, a fundamental shift in Chinese governance that would last for 1,000 years. She expanded the empire, managed the economy with skill, and was a great patron of the arts and Buddhism. For the common person, her reign was largely a time of peace and opportunity. She ruled a nation of over 60 million people, commanding its vast armies and sprawling bureaucracy with an ability few men could match. But a reign born in conspiracy would end in one. By 705, she was over 80 years old and gravely ill. The enemies she had made over 50 years of ruthless politics saw their chance. Her own ministers and her surviving sons stormed the palace, forcing the bedridden titan to abdicate the throne. Her Zhou dynasty was erased. The Tang was restored. She died less than a year later, a prisoner in a remote palace. The Dragon Empress was no more. After her death, her son, the new emperor, faced a dilemma. What do you write on the tomb of a mother who was also a usurper? A ruler who was both a brilliant administrator and a paranoid tyrant. A woman who defied heaven itself. Any epitaph would be a lie of omission. To praise her would be to legitimize her rebellion. To condemn her would be to dishonor his own mother. So, he wrote nothing. The blank stone has been interpreted for 13 centuries. Some say it was her final arrogant statement, that her achievements were too vast to be captured by words. Others say it was the ultimate punishment, an official erasure from history, leaving her to be judged only by the whispers of her enemies. It remains a profound symbol of her contested legacy, a woman erased by the Confucian histories only to be rediscovered as a feminist icon, a ruthless despot, or a political genius, depending on who tells the story.
The blank stone stands as a mirror, reflecting the biases and ambitions of all who gaze upon it. It forces us to ask, in the great drama of history, is a legacy defined by the rules you break or by the empire you build? And when the official record is silent, who gets to write the truth?